Hey guys, welcome back to Libro Review. I hope you're doing very nice, and I'm sending a lot of hugs and positive, so much of love, hugs and positivity to all of you. In today's video, I'm going to be recommending 14 romance book recommendations. Anybody who follows me on Instagram already knows, but on 4th of February, I was taking shower and my mom knocked on the door. In the evening, I worked out, I was taking shower, my mom knocked on the door and she was saying something, but I was not able to hear it because the shower was on, and I also listened to music while taking shower. I came outside and my mom told me that my grandma has passed away. My daddy, my father's mother, has passed away, and she was 90 plus years old. We saw the possibility, but she was so healthy right now. Recently she had been having good health. She used to take a lot of care of herself, and our family is in Bihar, my grandparents, and my granddad's house is in a village in Bihar, and my cousins live in the city side. Literally one day before, literally that same day, actually in the daytime, we talked to her and she was all good, and in the evening we got this message and we did we kind of were really shocked. And then my dad had to straight away go. In that moment, he took the first flight and he went to Bihar, and the rest of us, me, my brother, my mom, we went the next day in train. Came to know that my daddy was not in pain when she was going, and she knew that she is going because she said it, that I'm gonna go now and to my cousins to take care of themselves, and she took God's name. When I went to Bihar, in the village side we did not have internet at all, and in the city side also I did not have enough internet to upload any video. I did not have my equipment, I couldn't shoot obviously, and I wanted to be there in that moment because the grieving process and all the rituals over there go on for around 12 to 13 days. I wanted to be there, say my final goodbye to daddy, and being with the whole family for so many days, for 15 days, and the entire grieving process was happening together. We were there for each other. That really helped with accepting everything and getting over everything. Here I am recommending 14 romance recommendations, even if Valentine's Day is long gone. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Also, thank you so much for all the love when I was away. I did update on my community tab, and a lot of you have sent me so much love on Instagram, on YouTube. So good. It warms my heart. So thank you so much for being here, and I am going to try and put out amazing videos now. That is it. Let's begin the video now. The first book I want to recommend is 11 Minutes by Paulo Coelho. Wow, doing this is giving me a different feeling. I'm doing this after so long. This is the story of a woman, Maria, who has been since a very young age not given too much attention from her family, and she has not been able to explore her desires, and she has not been able to do what she wants to do. So as she grows up, she just wants to go away from her house, which she does, but the life that she had imagined, the life which she thought is super glamorous and glittery, isn't the kind of life that she has to face. And then in that period of time when she's going through almost her worst time ever, she meets a guy who is a painter, and that painter is able to recognize her in ways that she hadn't recognized herself. Paulo Coelho always puts a spiritual turn or a philosophical turn on anything that he writes, because of which this is a very philosophical point of view of how she is testing out different feelings and different kinds of love and different kinds of attachments and desires with different people, and then in the end, she discovers who she really is, who she really wants, and how she deserves to be treated. Very easy language, very beginner friendly. However, I do not recommend it to children. It is a 16 plus novel. I read it in one go, and trust me, I loved it so much. I love Paulo Coelho so much. So if you want to read a story of a woman who has completely lost herself and then finds herself through love, then this is your book. Next we have a tragedy, which is The Mazour by Hinana Burgess. This is the story of two people who fall in love, but they are from different clans. Not clans, okay, that is a very Romeo Juliet kind of a term, but they're from different communities. Those communities are each other's enemies, but they fall in love, so it's their journey as to what happens. Again, the language is really easy, but oh my god, this book is so heartbreaking, and the kind of twists and turns that come in the book in the middle itself. The ending is shocking and it is heartbreaking, and when I finished this book I was literally crying for 2 days, and I did not let go of this book because of how beautiful it is and how thoughtful it is. But even in the middle, with the other characters that were involved in their love story, it is beautifully written, and I am so happy that I have read this book. Next up we have The Confession by Jessie Burton. Now this is a book that I recently read in January. It is the story of a woman who is very, very young and she does not know what she wants, but she does meet another woman who is very, very ambitious. That is one timeline in 1982, and then we see another timeline going on in 2017 where there is a kid, not a kid, like she is a grown woman, but she is the daughter of the woman that did not find herself. She has never met her mother after her birth, so she does not remember what she looks like. She does not know what she looks like. So she starts the pursuit of finding her mother, and for that she meets the other woman who is very, very ambitious. It is the love story of the two women, and on the other hand it is the love story of the child, the girl, the woman who is finding her mother, and her journey of self-discovery and all their journeys of self-discovery. If you really want to immerse yourself into something and like read for a long time and have fun, like a very very chill love story, it is not extremely philosophic and stuff, then you can pick up this book. However, I do feel like there are elements of toxic relationships in this book, like how toxic relationships can affect two people in the relationship. Next up we have The Zaheer by Paulo Coelho, another book by Paulo Coelho, and this book is more about the love after marriage. So we all know that in the beginning, when we are not married, or not just that, like the beginning phase of any love relationship is very fun, it's nice, amazing, but as time passes, even if we're not married, yes, there are so many things that change, so many things we take for granted, so many things become common. Now this is the story of a man and a wife, and the wife has suddenly disappeared and we do not know where she is, whether she is kidnapped, whether she is dead, whether she ran away, we have no idea at all. And the man is a writer, he's trying to find his wife now, which slowly becomes his obsession. So this is the story of what happens with his obsession, what happens to his wife, and where is she, what happened to her. Again, Paulo Coelho has made it very philosophical, very spiritual. So the next book is a very cute, nice, a little hurtful yet beautiful love story, which is The Lines We Cross by Randa Abdel Fattah. I never remember the author's name. Wow, we're back to that. Now this book is the story of two people again who fall in love. They're teenagers, again they are from different communities, and there are a lot of differences between the communities. The differences of the communities can also be seen among the two people, like these two kids that have fallen in love. They have their own beliefs based upon whatever their community believes in, so they have a lot of fights, they're not able to understand, they basically hate each other first, but they do fall in love. So it is one of those stories where you are haters first, but then you fall in love, and then how you get over stuff. The language is very, very easy, so, and it is a beautiful, it's super cheesy and cute, but I really like it. Next up we have With Love by TTT. So now TTT is a writing company and they have published their own book. With Love has multiple letters. They're not exactly love letters, but it is about love. It is with love from different relations or different point of views. It is not only about romantic love, but any kind of love. It is beautiful. It is very minimalistic in when it comes to like the writing style, because that is kind of like the style of TTT. They write in a very simple yet impactful manner. So if you want to read kind of like short stories related to love and love letters, then you can go ahead with this book. The next book is Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and now this book is one of my most favorite books, but again one of those books that I have not recommended enough. Now this book is the story of a woman who has the biggest ambitions and biggest aspirations ever, but she again has not been in an environment where she can fulfill them. So as she grows old, she does anything and everything required in order to fulfill her ambitions. This story is narrated by somebody else, a journalist who is trying to dive deep into the story of Evelyn Hugo. Why did she marry 7 times? Did she actually find love after marrying 7 men? What is her story? Because Evelyn Hugo generally is a very secretive person. What a book. What a book. I cannot tell you a lot more than this. The fact that she has married 7 men, her entire character arc, how she changes, the ending broke my heart. It was 8 a.m. in the morning. I was listening to it as an audiobook, and I suggested that you listen to it as an audiobook, and I was sitting on my bed and everybody else was sleeping and I was crying my eyes out because of how emotional the story is. So if you want to read something like this, go ahead. The language is very easy, but this is one of the best books I have ever read. Next up we have Music to Flame, Lilies by Megha Rao. Now this is the story of Noor, who gets a message from her dead best friend out of nowhere. The dead best friend wants Noor to come back to their native place and save her, and Noor is like, oh, whoa, but you know, it is like she is her best friend, so she does go back. The village is something completely different from what she imagines, or something completely different from what she expected, full of voodoo, this, that, stuff she doesn't understand. And that is where she meets a boy called Kalki, who is from the village, and then it is a story of their relation. What happens? Do they actually understand each other or not? And then what is the whole story of the dead best friend, and how was there a message? Oh my god, the writing style is gorgeous. If you want to read something poetic in a story format, then this is your book. However, I must say that it is slightly disgusting in some places, because there is this one scene which is so vivid in my head, even if there is no pictures in the book. Somebody eating half of a child, like half of a baby body, and it was disgusting. But again, the writing style is so poetic and beautiful. Next up, of course, we have the 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. I had to include it in this video because it is one of my most favorite love books ever. However, the 40 Rules of Love is not only about romantic relationships, but also about companionship, and it is the story of Shams of Tabriz and Rumi. What are the 40 Rules of Love? And not just that, Shams of Tabriz also meets so many other people and makes them understand the power of love. However, the story of Shams of Tabriz and Rumi is a story within the book that Ella, a 40-year-old woman, has to read and write a literary report on. Now, Ella also is having a very bland life. She's basically not living, but this entire project gives her new life, and she's ready to change it all, even if, you know, she is 40 years old and she does feel like half of her life is gone. This is one of my most favorite books, and I've recommended it so much, so I'm not going to talk a lot about it. It will take you a lot of time to read, and it does have a lot of narrative, like there are multiple point of views, so it will take you time, but I think it can be one of the best love spiritual books you can ever read in your life. Whoa, that's a lot of books. The next book is Sputnik Sweetheart by Murakami. I wanted to include one book by Murakami, and this is what I picked up. This story is narrated by a guy. It is a story of his best friend, but he is in love with his best friend, but the best friend is in love with somebody else, so it is basically a triangle. He narrates the story of what happens to her and what happens to her love, who ends up with whom in the end. The language is very simple. However, I do suggest that if you have never ever read Murakami before, please go into the book with a very open mind, because Murakami does not write very simple things. It doesn't always make sense to you if you are not very open-minded. The end will make absolute no sense, however, if you are not open to the book. However, the writing style again is gorgeous. The characters stay with you. They are gorgeous, and that is like the best thing when it comes to Murakami, because his characters are so memorable, so in depth, you can actually visualize how they will look. Next, we have Silver Linings Playbook, which is also a movie. Now, this is a story of two people with mental health issues who meet each other. They basically don't like each other, but they do need each other's help, so they are helping each other. Like, that is all I can say. One of them falls in love, the other doesn't. It's very nice. I really liked it. I liked the complicated plot, because in the end it was so beautiful. Next, we have Looking for Alaska by John Crane, which I recommend to all the youngsters out there. Now, this is the story of Alaska, who has made this guy completely get over everything else, and he likes her so much, but Alaska actually is with somebody else, and then one random day she is gone, and then the guy is like, oh my god, where is she gone? Because he is so crazy about her. It is a very young story. John Green writes in such a beautiful manner, such simple lines, but they will make your heart thud. So if you want to read a very teenagey, crazy love story, then this is your book. Next we have Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe. The second part of the book is coming, and it was recently announced. When I came back I saw it and I was like, oh, whoa, so happy about it. It is a story of Aristotle and Dante, two normal teenagers. Both of them have very different perspectives of the world, but they meet and they're both very introverted, so they don't meet a lot of people, but they become each other's friend. This is one of the most beautiful stories I have ever read in my whole life. Trust me, this is my most favorite love story ever. No other book can beat this book. The language is very easy, very simple. The writing style is beautiful, and the simplicity of their love story is what I want, like, in my own life, as in that is the kind of love I can imagine in my own life. So read it. The last book is a very, like, I don't know, not my type of a book, but I still really like it, like, you know, chick flick kind of a book, which is Crazy Rich Asians. Now this is the book where again two people are in love, but their families are very different from each other. The girl is a very ambitious, you know, she's from New York, she follows her passion and all that kind of stuff, and her mother pushes her for everything, all that. But the guy's family is, they are Asians and they're crazy rich, as the title suggests. And when they see the girl, they're like, oh my god, this is the girl that you're gonna marry, because she of course is not rich, but she also doesn't fit in with the guy's family. If you're really into, like, you know, that romantic love and everything where it is like super cheesy and stuff, then this is an amazing book. It is also very fun at certain points, so I really liked it. Alright you guys, this was it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm actually really hoping that, because I am slightly awkward and skeptical, but I'm happy that I made the video because I feel lesser awkward and lesser skeptical about my own talking style and everything. And on Saturday I will come up with a very fun video. If you like the video, please do share, like, subscribe, bell button, all those great things. Thank you so much for everything that you do already. I love you guys so much. Bye.